The screen fades to black, a heartbeat echoes, then a sharp sound of a knife being unsheathed. What if everything Dexter has buried finally comes back to the surface? Episode 9 of Dexter Resurrection doesn't just tease us with another hunt, it whispers a truth fans have dreaded from the beginning, that the predator might finally become the prey. The trailer is short, but every single frame is loaded with clues. And if you look closely, you'll see that the game is no longer about who Dexter hunts, but who is hunting him. The trailer for episode 9 drops us straight into chaos. No calm buildup, no quiet reflection. Instead, it opens with a shot of Dexter standing in the shadows, his face half lit by a flickering streetlight. He looks older, heavier, like the weight of his choices is pressing down harder than ever before. For longtime fans, this image is chilling because Dexter usually wears a mask of calm control. But here, there's no mask, there's fear. And that is not something we see often. Right after this, the trailer cuts sharply to Harrison. His voice echoes in the background. You can't keep running forever. Now, this line alone is a loaded weapon. On the surface, it could mean Harrison confronting his father, finally stepping out of Dexter's shadow. But dig deeper, and it feels like Harrison is voicing the audience's question. Can Dexter really keep escaping justice, fate, and his own darkness? The editing deliberately overlaps this dialogue over shots of Dexter moving quickly through the night, as if chased. It's not just a scene. It's a warning. The next moment in the trailer is quick. Almost blink and you miss it. We see blood smeared on a door handle, a hand reaching for it. The shot lingers just long enough to make us wonder, whose blood is it? Is this a victim of Dexter's? Or is it Dexter himself, wounded and vulnerable for the first time in a very long time? The camera doesn't give answers, and that's intentional. It plants doubt. Then we're hit with a sequence of rapid cuts. A police siren blaring, a body bag being zipped up. Dexter's face illuminated by red and blue lights. Now, what's brilliant here is the use of symbolism. The police lights are not just background detail. They're a visual metaphor for the trap closing in. For years, Dexter has danced in the margins, avoiding the gaze of law enforcement. But episode 9 promises to flip that script. For the first time, the hunter may be under the full spotlight of justice. One of the most striking shots comes around the 30-second mark of the trailer. We see Dexter staring at a photograph on a corkboard. It's blurry, but it looks like a collection of crime scene photos pinned together with red strings connecting them. If you freeze the frame, you'll notice that one of the photos seems to show Dexter himself walking away from a crime scene. This isn't just a stylistic choice. It suggests that someone, maybe a detective, maybe Harrison, maybe a brand new rival, is building a case. A case against Dexter Morgan. But the trailer doesn't stop there. It gives us a small but powerful glimpse of a new character, a woman in her late 40s, standing in front of a dark alley, her expression unreadable. Fans are already speculating that she might be an investigator, possibly tied to Dexter's past. Her introduction is brief, almost like a shadow passing through the frame, but the deliberate choice to include her in this teaser means she has weight. And in a series like Dexter, no character appears without purpose. Another key detail is the tone of the sound design. If you listen carefully, underneath the dialogue and quick cuts, there's a low hum. It almost sounds like a buzzing fly growing, louder in certain moments. This isn't random. Dexter has always used sound to reflect inner tension. Here, it feels like that hum represents something festering, secrets, guilt, the dark passenger itself clawing to be heard. By the time the trailer reaches its final beat, we see Dexter standing in a darkened room holding his infamous knife. But this time, his hand is shaking, just slightly, but enough to notice. And then Harrison's voice repeats once more, "You can't keep running forever." The screen cuts to black. Title card appears, Dexter Resurrection, Episode 9. This entire sequence is crafted to unsettle. to remind us that Dexter's world is collapsing, piece by piece. And it's no longer just about him hiding his double life. It's about whether that double life is finally about to be exposed, not by strangers, but by the people closest to him. The heart of this trailer isn't just about Dexter running through the night. It's about the people around him, and how their choices could finally tip the scales. At the center of it all, of course, is Harrison. His presence in episode 9 feels heavier than ever. The trailer doesn't show him much, but the few seconds we get are powerful. A close-up of his face, eyes burning with conflict, tells us that he's no longer just a confused son caught in the orbit of a dangerous father. Harrison is making decisions now, choices that could either bind him to Dexter's legacy or break it forever. The line "you can't keep running forever" feels less like advice and more like judgment. It suggests Harrison has crossed a point of no return, that he's tired of half-truths, tired of shadows, tired of being dragged into a life that constantly teeters between survival and destruction. For years, Dexter lived by the code Harry gave him, but Harrison, he's writing his own. And the trailer makes it clear that code might clash violently with Dexter's, but Harrison isn't the only one we need to pay attention to. Let's look at that new character, the woman we saw briefly in the alley. Her appearance might seem small, but in storytelling, especially in shows like Dexter, nothing is random. She could be a detective, a journalist, or even someone connected to Dexter's past kills. The way she was framed, half in light, half in shadow, mirrors the visual language used for characters who sit on the edge of discovery. She's not just another background player. She's a threat, a puzzle piece that will likely change everything. And then there are the echoes of past antagonists. The trailer doesn't bring back anyone explicitly, but its imagery feels familiar. The crime board Dexter stares at looks eerily similar to how Sergeant Dokes once tracked him. It's a reminder that Dexter's enemies never truly disappear. They just evolve, return in new forms. Episode 9 is teasing the idea that history is repeating itself. But this time, it might not be Dexter outsmarting his hunters. It might be Dexter outnumbered, cornered, and finally exposed. What makes this trailer especially gripping is how it paints Dexter himself. He doesn't look like the confident predator we've known for years. His eyes are tired, his steps less sure. Even the way he grips his knife, with that faint tremor, tells us his control is slipping. Dexter has always been meticulous, precise, untouchable in his rituals. But here, the mask is cracking. It's a visual clue that episode 9 isn't about Dexter dominating his world. It's about his world dominating him. The trailer also reminds us that the law is circling closer than ever. Those flashing sirens, the body bag, the blurred faces of officers moving in the background. They're not just random images. They signal that the investigation is closing in. Someone somewhere has connected enough dots, and when you combine this with the mysterious woman's appearance, the crime board evidence, and Harrison's rising suspicion, you see the storm forming. Dexter is being boxed in from every angle: family, law enforcement, and his own inner weakness. But perhaps the most haunting part of the character focus is what's not shown. Deborah's voice. Now, in earlier episodes, Deborah has appeared as the manifestation of Dexter's guilt and conscience. Her absence in this trailer is loud, almost too loud. Could this mean her presence in episode 9 will be overwhelming, or is her silence itself a message? Sometimes what a trailer leaves out is more telling than what it includes, and Deborah's silence could be foreshadowing something much darker for Dexter's internal struggle. By the end of this section of the trailer, we're left with one burning question: who will betray Dexter first? Will it be Harrison, tired of running and ready to step out from his father's shadow? Will it be the new woman, whose mere presence feels like a ticking clock? Or will it be Dexter himself, undone by his own slipping control, his own crumbling? Mask, episode 9 is shaping up to be less about blood on the table and more about choices, motives, and the final unraveling of relationships that have defined Dexter's entire life. The trailer doesn't show us killings, elaborate rituals, or Dexter in command. Instead, it shows us a man being hunted, not just by others, but by the weight of every choice he has ever made. Every good trailer is more than just a series of quick shots. It's a message written in images, sounds, and shadows. The Episode 9 trailer for Dexter Resurrection is no different. Beneath the surface, it whispers themes that connect not only to this new chapter, but to the very soul of the show itself. The most obvious theme is resurrection. The title of this series isn't just for shock value. It's a constant reminder that nothing stays buried. Dexter's past, his victims, his secrets, even his family ties. They keep clawing their way back into the present. In the trailer, this idea is symbolized in subtle ways. The repeated imagery of doors opening and closing, lights flickering, on and off, and shadows stepping into the frame all point to things returning from the dark. It's not just Dexter rising again. It's everything he's tried to suppress: guilt, fear, betrayal, being resurrected to. Another layer is the symbolism of blood. Blood has always been Dexter's language, his trophies, his code, his curse. But in this trailer, blood feels different. It's not neat and controlled, like the slides Dexter once kept. It's smeared, chaotic, staining surfaces he cannot clean. That shot of the bloody door handle lingers because it's the opposite of control. It suggests messiness, exposure, vulnerability. Blood here isn't Dexter's tool. It's evidence. Proof that the walls between his two lives are collapsing. We also can't ignore the recurring presence of light and shadow in the trailer. Dexter is almost never shown in full clarity. His face is half-lit, his body often caught between brightness and darkness. This isn't just a stylistic choice. It's a metaphor for where he stands, no longer fully hidden in the shadows, but not yet exposed under the light. He's in between. And in storytelling, the in-between is the most dangerous place to be. It means a choice is coming, a moment when one side must be chosen. For Dexter, that could mean redemption or destruction. The sound design itself carries symbolic weight. That low hum, almost like an insect's buzz, grows louder in the tense moments of the trailer. On a surface level, it builds suspense. But on a symbolic level, it represents something rotting beneath the surface. Flies are drawn to decay. That buzz suggests that the life Dexter has built, the fragile piece he's tried to maintain, is decomposing. It's a reminder that you cannot escape decay forever. Eventually, everything you've hidden begins to smell. Then there's Harrison's voice. The line "you can't keep running forever" is more than just dialogue. It's a thematic anchor. Running has always been Dexter's default. Running from his past in Miami, running from discovery, running from his own humanity. But Episode 9 hints that the running is over. Symbolically, this makes Harrison more than a son. He becomes a mirror, a voice of truth. His words cut deeper than any knife because they reflect what Dexter has always known but refused to admit: you cannot outrun yourself. The trailer also seems to draw on religious undertones, another layer of symbolism tied to resurrection. 1. Frame shows Dexter standing in what looks like an abandoned church basement, dimly lit, cracked walls, a faint cross in the background. It's a blink-and-you-miss-it shot, but it's important. Churches symbolize confession, judgment, salvation. To place Dexter in this space, even for a moment, signals that Episode 9 might not just be about physical survival. It might be about moral judgment. Is Dexter beyond redemption? Or is he, in some twisted way, seeking it? Even the title card at the end carries meaning. The sharp cut to black, followed by the words Dexter Resurrection, Episode 9, isn't just branding. The typography itself, clean white letters on black, reflects the show's long-standing obsession with duality. White against black, innocence against guilt, light against shadow. It's the eternal struggle within Dexter himself, crystallized in a single frame. Taken together, these symbols create a chilling message. Episode 9 is not about Dexter's power, but about his unraveling. The resurrection theme suggests that everything he's fought to keep buried is rising. The blood imagery warns of exposure. The shadows and light signal a choice between two worlds. The buzzing sound whispers of decay. Harrison's voice reminds us of inevitability, and the church imagery foreshadows judgment. This isn't just another cat hand mess chapter. It's the moment when the cat realizes he's been trapped in a cage the entire time. If the trailer for episode 9 tells us anything, it's that the walls are closing in on Dexter. But the real question is, how will it all play out? The beauty of a series like Dexter is that every character could be the key to his downfall, and every scene could be a setup for a devastating twist. Let's explore some of the biggest possibilities hidden within this trailer. The first and most obvious theory is betrayal, specifically, betrayal by Harrison. His line, "You can't keep running forever," isn't just a critique of his father's life. It could be foreshadowing a dramatic confrontation. Imagine episode 9 revealing Harrison not as Dexter's ally, but as the one who finally exposes him. The crime board we saw in the trailer could even be his doing. If Harrison has pieced together his father's crimes, episode 9 could be building toward a son versus father showdown, a tragic collision of bloodlines where the code is rewritten for a new generation. Another theory points to the mysterious woman in the alley. Trailers rarely introduce someone new unless they're crucial. Could she be a detective who has been tracking Dexter from the shadows? Or perhaps a journalist who stumbled onto evidence connecting him to old Miami cases? There's even a possibility she's connected to one of Dexter's past victims, a sister, a partner, a family member who has been hunting for answers. If that's true, episode 9 could deliver one of the show's most personal confrontations yet, where Dexter isn't just fighting law enforcement, but grief and vengeance from his own bloody past. We also have to consider the role of law enforcement. The sirens, the body bag, the blurred officers in the background. These shots suggest more than random police activity. Could this be the episode where Dexter is finally arrested? It would be a bold choice, but not an impossible one. Imagine the final act of episode 9 putting Dexter in handcuffs, surrounded by flashing lights, his double life exposed to the world. It wouldn't just shock the audience, it would completely shift the stakes for the finale. For years, Dexter has danced on the edge of exposure. Episode 9 could be the moment he finally falls. Then there's the possibility of inner betrayal, Dexter against himself. That trembling hand holding the knife isn't just a visual of weakness. It might signal that Dexter no longer has the control, the precision, or even the desire to keep killing. His rituals are cracking, his mask is slipping. If episode 9 shows Dexter faltering in a kill, unable to finish what he started, it would be a haunting reversal of everything we know about him. For the first time, Dexter's greatest enemy wouldn't be Dokes, or Trinity, or Harrison. It would be his own fading ability to be who he thinks he is, and we can't ignore the religious undertones from the trailer. That faint cross in the background, the church-like setting. What if episode 9 places Dexter in a position where he's forced to confess? Not to police, not to Harrison, but to himself. A scene of Dexter facing his sins, surrounded by the weight of his past kills, could become one of the most powerful moments in the series. Whether or not he finds redemption is debatable, but the act of acknowledgement alone would be groundbreaking. Another theory ties back to Dippa. Her absence in the trailer might not be an accident. What if episode 9 brings her back in a more dominant, overwhelming form, not as a quiet voice in Dexter's mind, but as a relentless presence that paralyzes him at crucial moments? Imagine Dexter trying to act, but being stopped in his tracks by Deborah's ghostly accusations. Her silence in the trailer could be the calm before a storm of guilt that destroys Dexter's confidence from the inside. Of course, there's also the possibility of a twist we can't see coming. The Dexter writers have always thrived on subverting Expectations. Maybe the body bag we saw isn't a victim at all. Maybe it's someone close to Dexter. Maybe Harrison himself is in danger. Or maybe episode 9 isn't about Dexter's capture or exposure, but about setting up a finale where he makes the ultimate sacrifice, giving himself up or even ending his own life to save his son from repeating his mistakes. The trailer is deliberately vague, but that's the genius of it. Every shot is designed to fuel speculation, every line crafted to spark debate. What we know for sure is that episode 9 won't be business as usual. It won't just be another kill, another cover-up, another narrow escape. It will be a turning point. The hunter is no longer in control. The shadows he once used as cover are now swallowing him whole. So the question isn't just what will Dexter do? The real question is, what will Dexter become? A victim, a prisoner, a fallen legend, or, against all odds, something more? One thing's certain, episode 9 won't let Dexter keep running anymore.